Jessica, a 32-year-old mother of two, had suffered years of psychological and physical abuse at the hands of her spouse. She and her kids had suffered as a result of living in continual terror. After her husband threw their kids' toys out the window one night, in a fit of rage, Jessica broke down when her crying kids asked her why they were still here. Knowing she couldn't stay any longer, Jessica found the strength to quietly wake up her kids and leave the house with just a backpack. She entered the night's uncertainty and sought refuge at a women's shelter in the city, but it was already full, so she ended up in a park trying to reassure her kids and put them to sleep. After spending several chilly and terrifying nights in the park, Jessica now felt completely hopeless and found herself wandering toward one of the city's bustling streets. Her children were hungry and restless, and their little voices served as a constant reminder of her helplessness with nothing left to offer them. Jessica sobbed silently, feeling trapped with no clear path forward and no hope on the horizon. Jessica collapsed onto the curb, holding her used backpack tightly. Her children's hollow eyes, filled with hunger and confusion, were unbearable to see. Tears were streaming silently down her face as she whispered to herself, "What am I going to do?" She pulled her kids close, trying to protect them from the harshness of the outside world. Suddenly, a man walking nearby noticed them. It was Donald Trump, passing by the same street. The sight of Jessica's distraught kids and her defeated stance stopped him in his tracks. Without hesitation, Trump accelerated his pace and came closer after hearing footsteps. Instead of realizing who was in front of her, Jessica automatically looked up, her weary, tear-streaked face full of anxiety. Trump said, "Hello, is there anything you need? Can I help you?" Seeing the weariness and pain on her face, Jessica froze, unable to process the offer. "No, I don't know," she stammered, her voice cracking with exhaustion. She couldn't believe that a stranger's assistance was sincere. Trump reassured her, saying, "Please don't be afraid. Can you share your story with me? Perhaps I can do something." After what seemed like an eternity, Jessica paused, dropping her head in stillness, and then she started speaking, her voice shaking. Everything occurred so quickly, she whispered, her eyes welling with tears. "My husband lost control of his rage and hit and yelled, but what really hurt me as a mother was what he did in front of my kids. I felt like I didn't do enough to protect them. But that night, I realized I couldn't stand anymore." Trump listened carefully, his face composed but earnest. Jessica took a deep breath and went on. "That night, he was yelling at the kids, throwing their toys to the ground and breaking them. My daughter was crying and pleading with me, 'Mom, to let us go.' I knew I had to leave, so I packed some clothes and toys into a backpack, woke the kids up quietly, and went out into the night. I had no idea where I was going, no money, and I belonged nowhere." Her voice broke as she tried to gather herself, "and we slept in the park every morning. My kids would ask Mom why we weren't going home, and I couldn't respond. I had nothing but the weight of failure and despair." Trump took a deep breath, clearly struck by what she had spoken. His eyes glistened with unshed tears, but he remained calm and focused. He forcefully stated that this is not the end of your story, and that no woman or child should have to live like this. "Jessica, I'll assist you," Jessica said, staring at her with wide eyes and a shaky voice. "You don't even know me, so why would you go to such lengths for someone like me? This is about humanity if we don't help others when they're at their lowest." For the first time in years, a faint glimmer of hope appeared on Jessica's face. She didn't realize it yet, but this moment marked the beginning of a transformation that would forever change her and her children's lives. Trump met her gaze with sincerity and compassion, saying, "I don't need to know you." Without wasting any time, Trump helped Jessica and her kids book a hotel stay. For the first time in years, he gave them a warm supper and a cozy room, something they hadn't had in years. Overwhelmed by emotion, Jessica's children slept on actual beds. Through her sobs, Jessica muttered, "This must be a dream." But Trump's assistance didn't end there. He posted Jessica's tale on social media, exposing her predicament and inspiring thousands of people to offer support. Trump started a campaign to raise a sizable amount of money for Jessica, but he went above and above by helping her find employment and enrolling her kids in a secure and encouraging school. "I never imagined I would be so fortunate," A few days after Jessica expressed her sincere gratitude, Trump went one step further and invited her and her kids to visit his own house. As they strolled around his vast and serene estate, Trump declared, "This home isn't just mine. It's a place for anyone in need." As her kids giggled and played in the roomy garden, Jessica couldn't think of anything to say. In addition to providing her with material comforts, Trump's kindness and compassion helped her heal emotionally. A month later, Jessica and her kids moved into a new home they could finally call home. It was secure, friendly, and full of hope for a better future. With tears flowing down her face, Jessica accepted the keys to her new home from Trump himself, who said, "This is just the beginning. Everything will get better from here." She said, "You've given me my life back. I will always be grateful." Jessica's children made friends and smiled more than they had in years, as they swiftly adjusted to their new school. For the first time in years, Jessica felt like she belonged and was a part of a community again after her neighbors, who were moved by her tale, threw a welcome party for her family as she was settling into her new position. For many others, Jessica's incredible metamorphosis served as a beacon of hope. Trump took use of this incident as a springboard to, in a moving televised interview, launch initiatives to assist elderly people in need and survivors of domestic abuse. Trump stated that everyone will require assistance at some point in their lives, and that being human entails supporting one another. In a heartfelt letter to Trump, Jessica and her kids expressed their gratitude, saying, "You didn't just give us a home, you gave us a new life." If this heartwarming story resonated with you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Every like and subscription helps us reach more people in need of assistance like Jessica. Jessica's story became a testament to the power of compassion and how a single act of kindness could ripple through countless lives. Together, let's write more tales of change and hope